one project that we have to mention is Reef. I see it in the chat. This thing, guys, this thing, minus 50% from all-time high. Fundamentally, very good. They've had this issue with the bots pumping or some kind of liquidity problem at the start of the project. You remember these times. Many people were not that happy with this because there was some kind of problem with Binance. Either they had problem with liquidity or something happened. But anyway, the price shot up a lot. And this wasn't really, you know, market forces. It was either liquidity or bot or some kind of other stuff happening. Anyway, many people get very angry because this is what happened next. And now we're coming back. The lost sun is coming back. Still down 50% from that pump in the beginning. But fundamentally, Reef is amazing. Number one, it has Binance. That's a big one. Already Binance full on board. And of course, you have Binance, you have Uniswap, you have the best possible situation of both worlds. DeFi and centralized finance you have. Very, very good. Number two, perfect narrative in terms of being DeFi, multi-chain, all of that good jazz. And investors, Master Ventures, this is Kyle, guys. You remember Kyle? You remember Kyle? You remember Kyle from Paid Network? See, this is what I'm saying. The reason I'm excited about Paid Network is because Kyle is everywhere. As soon as I check a project, I see Master Ventures, Kyle is already invested. I'm like, bro, he's everywhere. He's everywhere, Kyle. And you know that Paid themselves are going to have a launchpad. This guy has so much connections. It's insane. Yeah, a bunch of other ones. Yeah, so Reef I'm very, very bullish on as well. It's almost like I want to get a spacesuit for this one as well. What I would be needing to know, though, is exact market cap. This one, let's see. This one would be very important to know exactly. And the CoinGecko, they have this problem. They don't even have market cap for important projects. I don't really know why, but it's a problem for sure. Let's check here on CoinMarketCap if they have 78. Perfect. So can this go to 500 million? I think so. Absolutely. With Binance on board, with everything on board, with great exchanges, great connections, great use case, it's possible. It can also go to zero. You do your own research. But yeah, Reef I like. Reef, gonna be very interesting to follow for sure.
The third coin, Reef Finance. Now this is a Polkadot-based liquidity aggregator and yield engine allowing for both trading and access to centralized and decentralized exchanges, so sourcing liquidity from across the crypto market. They're also offering smart lending, smart borrowing, staking, and mining, thanks to an AI-driven yield engine. Basically, a total freaking DeFi powerhouse in the making, focusing on the right market at the right time, and they're even built on the Polka Hype blockchain, Polkadot blockchain, which is obviously getting a lot of attention at the moment. And what's really interesting is we don't actually have any DeFi blue chips built on Polkadot yet, right? There will be DeFi blue chips, and Reef could be one of those. The entire Polkadot ecosystem is still, just waiting to explode. Now, the current market cap of Reef Finance is like $120 million, somewhere around there at the moment, which is interesting because it's one of the biggest DeFi coins by market cap in the Polkadot ecosystem. And for reference, it's like 160 on the market cap rankings, meaning that one of the biggest DeFi projects on Polkadot, and it hasn't even cracked into the top 100 yet. Now, it would need just another 4x from its current price to get into the top 100, and then around a 30x to get into the top 20 based on current market caps. So a lot of potential here for it to run. Polkadot ecosystem in general, totally undervalued. Now,
we're going to talk about Reef Finance because I'm out of the loop here. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like and a comment. Nice to have you. Lovely. Now, Reef Finance. My previous lives, one of the most popular comments, Reef. Yesterday, did a tweet, what should I cover today? Reef. Did a bit of digging, really like it, I'll be honest with you. I may have bought it, just got to put it out there, I bought it. You can crack on, do whatever you want, but I'm going to basically give YouTube a bit of a better video than what I've seen on the platform. talking about it in basic detail. I'm not going to go too over the top because this is obviously built on the parachain Polkadot ecosystem, which is mental in itself. But we'll go through basics, right? So, what is it and why have you probably heard of it? If you've heard of it because of KSI, just to kind of put this one out there, essentially, I've watched KSI for years, right? And he is balls deep in Reef at the moment. He's also balls deep into Ethereum and other coins. He's even getting the lingo right in terms of alt season, so he definitely knows his stuff in terms of a bit of experience of what he's been doing over the period. I reckon he's been learning for quite a while. I reckon it's gradual now that he's starting to promote it a little bit into his videos too. So let's talk about what it is first before we crack on. Now, it's a DeFi platform built on the Polkadot ecosystem that aims to deliver cross-chain trading, a yield engine, a smart liquidity aggregator as the main ethos of obviously DeFi, right? We're going to talk in fine-grained detail regarding certain things. I'll talk about the founder as well in terms of what his previous background is as well. But this has been started since 2020, the early part of it. And you can see here on this element here, this is like the main thing. Reef aggregates liquidity and provides automation. It also aims to address the drawbacks associated with existing trading platforms. Ethereum. Oh, terrible cough. Anyways, while centralized exchanges are, security breaches can happen, decentralized rivals can lack liquidity and are often difficult to use, right? Solid use case in terms of the issues that we've got with DeFi. DeFi is booming, and I've talked about this loads. However, I think it'll boom even more when those fees are sorted. DeFi and Polkadot are meeting now with Reef. Yep. So, moving on to the team member, the main guy, Denko Manichinsky. Sorry, I've probably bollocks that up. Apologies. But that being said, he does have some experience. He does look rather young, but he's obviously got experience in Viewly, the platform, been there for quite a while, and he's also been a chief technical officer at Adele, essentially. But yeah, experience. But we often see a lot of young, aspiring entrepreneurs, developers, really take the mantle and do very, very good things in cryptocurrency. We see it all the time. We see a lot of, look at Vitalik, for example. It's crazy when you think how young he still is. So there's a bit of background on him, not so much loads of information on the team on the website, but this is a very, very new product. And to be honest with you, probably the website update is probably the least of their worries right now, let's be honest. So moving on to the basic understanding. If you go down to the FAQ on Reef, it tells you in simple English what it is. So DeFi is short for decentralized finance, an umbrella term as a financial applications for cryptocurrency and blockchain geared towards disruption of banks, wankers, knobheads, right? All those people, right? But what is Reef? It is a smart liquidity aggregator and a yield engine that enables trading with access to liquidity from both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges while offering smart lending, borrowing, staking, and mining through an AI-driven, personalized Reef yield engine. So, DeFi, the ability to put your money out there, earn an interest, provide liquidity, make money, people are happy. Simple. What can the Reef token do though? Governance, the obvious. Voting on different proposals such as new releases, features and adjustments in the ecosystem. Simple as that. Protocol fees. Pay fees for applications such as entering and exit the markets or the basket, reallocation and rebalancing of other activities, and then you got staking, the obvious really. Stake into various pools to earn interest. We love that interest, the API, or APR as they say. And then obviously yield disruption, right? So essentially choosing the payment ratio generated by the activities in your basket. So all of this, it's basically the same as what you used to on Ethereum. However, parachain, with it being built on Polkadot, it will probably be a lot quicker, a lot smoother, a lot cheaper, and a lot more scalable. Bit of background regarding Polkadot, if you don't understand it, it will work on separate entities as substrates. They're basically mini blockchains within a chain. It's ridiculous, right, how it works. It's pretty cool. There's more settings here in terms of like, why is it using? Obviously, Polkadot's interoperable layer allows us to communicate with all blockchains, which is also important, and achieve a higher throughput. Obvious, really, let's be honest. and obviously inheriting their security model, their high resilience. So when you see how big the Polkadot ecosystem is, they're basically going to adopt it, sit on it, and love it. Basically, it's like sitting on a new chair. It's going to be great. No issues, no problems, easy to build on, all the security elements there, no bullshit fees. It makes life easy. Moving on to obviously the other part of the website, as you all know, you know, the gateway to DeFi through liquidity and protocol aggregation. You know, they're all meaty, horrible words, but ultimately, yeah, it is no way. It is DeFi, but made easy, as it says here, because it is going to be on that protocol chain of obviously Polkadot. So there's no real issues in that sense. That being said, there is a multiple load of investors. Investors are investors, and then you've obviously got the ecosystem here in terms of how it'll kind of work liquidity. But as I said before, the website's not the greatest. It's probably going to be the one thing that will probably get redone. But in terms of why, centralized exchanges, liquidity problems, decentralized exchanges, liquidity problems, unstable liquidity, slow and hard to use. It is very slow. It is also very, very clunky and expensive. And obviously no integration to the DeFi ecosystem. Yield problems, high technical barrier for entries, impossible to keep up with the strategies, and obviously very, very expensive gas fees, and obviously fragmentation problem. DeFi activities are fragmented and painful experiences, and obviously increased complexities. So it's kind of important to kind of get the basic levels across. But that being said, this level, the enhancement to use that Polkadot ecosystem is much better than the Ethereum one. So let's talk about light paper. In terms of some comparing, which I like to do, you can see here on this screen, the liquidity aggregator ticks all the boxes. That is important. Obviously the cross-chain liquidity problems with Ethereum being limited to just one, its own entity. It's going to be a lot different when you compare the fact of what is going to happen on this chain when it is going over to the Polkadot ecosystem. You got everything ticked. Liquidity for both centralized and decentralized. You got security, decentralized swaps, high throughput, and low cost. Oh, what isn't there to love? Next bit, the obvious bit as well. Smart yield farming. Again, you got strategy, smart routing, decentralization, customization, and interoperable. Oh God, getting excited, are you? I am. Because even though it's going to support the basic assets, obviously USD, Ccoin, essentially Tether, DAI, whatever, it's going to make a big difference knowing that it's interoperable with multiple levels and layers of different chains and not have the issues of clogging and other issues. You can see here as well, lending and borrowing, you know, it's all going to be provided on the same platform. It's like, wow. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see how this goes off. And the final bit in terms of yield distribution and token valuation, you can see here, yield that goes towards smart contract protocols will be used for paying interest to users who stake the Reef token. They can choose a lockup period or longer periods to get a better rate for. Obviously important when you're doing certain things like this. Buyback, and obviously all kinds of other fees within that. And then cash flow, revenue, and covering costs of running the platform. So it has a token utility. The more people that use it, there'll be some sort of mechanism in there to put the money back in. Recycle, refresh, recycle, refresh. It makes things much better. Future work as well, a little bit of element here. Future interoperability there we go, through parachains. One of the primary advantages of building Reef on the Polkadot is leveraging the unique parachain based infrastructure, which is basically the substrates, and that is going to be very, very important. A level 1 protocol, as in there's going to be no issues with chain clogging. You can see on the next paragraph as well, we will implement on Polkadot and achieve an interoperable with all Polkadot compatible chains. This will be Cosmos, Tezos, and Ethereum 2.0. It's already a few chains, and you can already know it is already literally flying away with me in terms of excitement, because it's going to solve a lot of issues in the DeFi space. We've got a roadmap. It's live, it's here, it's happy, lovely. All the elements in here, you can see the team expansion, everything, DeFi, with obviously, you know, the Ethereum protocols, integrations, security audits, economic audits, all that good stuff, right? But there's more coming, as you can see. Farming, Binance access, we're already there. Basket engine, Polkadot implementation, Ethereum Chainlink integration, fiat gateways, Kusama deployment, that's going to be important. Moving on, as you can see, you know, I don't want to teach you guys how to suck eggs, but there's a lot of things happening here, and this is why I'm kind of excited to have finally a DeFi project in my portfolio, which is now sitting here as Reef. But fundamentals are, it's going to be absolute powerful in terms of the DeFi space, and we can see here what could be going into the future here. So there we go. In terms of news as well, a lot of partnerships, Paralink, integration with multiple chain Oracle solutions here. So very, very important. Obviously, they're also working on a Chainlink integration. Partners with, I can't even say that word, I'm not even going to attempt to say that word to make a fool of myself, but as you can see, multiple levels of partnerships as well. Moving on to, yeah, it's crazy. So they've got a lot of things happening. Very, very active. In terms of this, I see this growing. I mentioned on my live on Sunday, where do we think it could go? When do you think we'll go over 100 billion? Well, it'll probably happen at some point in the future, we know that. But that being said, we may well see Reef being on this list in the future with their chain on the Polkadot ecosystem, or multiple chains on the Reef platform using multiple chains, therefore multiple listings, which would be quite cool. So there's a lot to happen, but price analysis, I'm going to break your heart a little bit because it's only new. We don't have much price data. We've literally got this. We don't have much at all. This is on the Binance ecosystem, or the exchange. I don't know why I'm saying ecosystem. It's bullshit. Anyways, that's all we got. We're in an uptrend. I bought into it. That's in US dollars. I bought in BTC today because obviously I had some BTC. I skimmed a bit of profit off a few things. Bought a bag. Really, really happy with it. And you can see here we've had a bit of a pullback in BTC, and I literally bought at 70 Satoshis. So I'm really happy with that purchase. In terms of supplies and stuff like that, it does have a total supply, circulating supply, a lot of it's out, which is always an important thing to know with that. But we need to understand that this is relatively new. It's not on many exchanges. It's only on Binance, really. It's on obviously Cake and Uniswap, whatnot. But there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of interest in this. But, you know, for me, I bought an initial bag. I'm really happy with it. I'm mostly blown away by the fact of the future potential of what could happen with this in terms of when it's live. It's got a utility. It's got all kinds of problem-solving little isms that could make a big difference in the DeFi space as this market ramps up, as DeFi gets bigger. Remember, DeFi only got 1 billion locked up literally in June 2020. We're now at 37 billion. When can this get even bigger? When can it get more interesting? You got to remember as well, will other companies, or not so much companies, but other people, big entities who have got a lot of DeFi collateral essentially locked up in Ethereum, will they run over and get frustrated because of, you know, the fees and the issues over to Reef? That's a genuine possibility. So I hope you enjoyed this video.